just finished a flip where the condo had been worth $830,000 2 years ago, and we bought it for $415. So we actually paid exactly 50% of what the seller had an offer for $830 2 years ago that she didn't take. And we bought it for $415. The lowest comp on the market was about $600,000. So we said, okay, and this was a good unit, corner unit next to the pool, great location. Didn't really need much rehab. I think we put 20,000 into it just to make sure it was like the most attractive unit on the market. And we ended up, so we're 435 all in, and I projected that we would sell it for 550. Because I was like, the lowest sale 600, market's going down, will be the best unit on the market. If everything goes wrong, like I don't see a way that we get less than 550. Well, we ended up selling it for 590, so we did make money.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Greg Gaudet, who owns Maui Home Buyers and has his real estate investing business in Maui. So excited to have you on the show today, Greg.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're working on the Maui market with your rentals, your flips, your wholesales, and everything that you're up to. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
First off, for those not yet familiar with you and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
My focus is split pretty equally between wholesaling, flipping, and rentals. I basically, my focus is on finding deals. And then as the deals come in, my business is spread pretty evenly amongst those three disposition methods. When a deal comes in, I just figure out, is this deal something that I want to flip and have the bandwidth and ability to flip right now? And can I make the profit I want to make? And if not, can I wholesale it? Or does it make sense as a rental? And am I in a position right now to, with the capital, to buy a rental?
Awesome. How did you get started as an investor?
So I've always wanted to become an investor. I was a real estate appraiser right out of high school in 2002 up until the recession hit. And at that time I was seeing people that were flipping houses, and that was really attractive to me because I'm just passionate about the real estate industry, and I saw the success that people were having with that.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I unfortunately didn't take action and start at that time, but the seed was planted, and around 2016, 2015, actually from 2012 till 2015, I was working in the real estate industry, and again, the seed was there. I was like really interested and eager to invest, but it wasn't until 2016 when I got my first well-paying job that I felt like, okay, now I actually have the ability to start investing. And at that time, I found all of the podcasts like yours and, online resources and started educating myself. And I wish that I had found these things sooner because I could have started. I didn't need the high-paying job. I didn't know that I could start with like very little money. But once I got the high-paying job, I saved aggressively. I had been living off of something in the $40,000 a year range before. And so when I started making six figures, I kept living off 40,000, saved all the rest, and was able to quickly save up enough to buy some low-end condos here on Maui that cash flow really well. And that was kind of my foot in the door. From there, I met another real estate investor influencer, and Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets, and I basically sold myself to him and became business partners with him to flip houses on Maui, which that just further scaled my ability to earn more income that I could just continue saving and adding to the pile to buy more rentals.
Amazing. That's so cool that you were able to really work your way and, yeah, get those partnerships and have that stepping stone into this career. What are some of the main keys that you would say have allowed your business to be able to scale and run smoothly?
I would say consistent marketing has been really important. It's easy to kind of, you know, rest on that and get tired of like you're sending out all this direct mail, right? And like you getting calls but not getting deals. Um, so being consistent, and then I would also say what's been critical to us has been being conservative. I've seen a lot of investors, there's been deals where that we've passed up on, and I see other investors do those deals, and a lot of them have made money, right? Just because, but I also believe a lot of them made money because the market was good. The market made them money. Like the investor didn't make the money. If the market had not been as good as it was, they would have broken even or lost money. So, as much as it hurts to see another investor do a deal that I looked at and came so close to doing, and then to see them make money on it, I also just remind myself like, well, it's great that it worked out for them, but it still wasn't right for us because if things didn't go as planned, they wouldn't have made money. And so that's kind of my approach to every deal we look at is what will be the outcome if like everything goes wrong? So if rehab costs twice as much as we expect, if we sell for like less than the lowest comp, if it takes us, 6 months or something, because our flips are usually really quick. We're usually in and out in 3 to 4 months. Um, if everything goes wrong, what price do we need to be at so that we don't lose money? And so that's been our approach, and I think that's been the key to us, our longevity, and even though we've seen some investors come in and fail and leave during the time we've been operating, I think that's what's given us the staying power.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you expand on how that is maybe unique to the Maui market? I know when we chatted before, you were mentioning some of those points, and I think it would be good to share with the audience.
Yeah, well, some of the unique things that we're dealing with on Maui is legislature to ban vacation rentals in buildings that are zoned for apartment use, which I won't get into the details, but basically a huge chunk of vacation rental condos on Maui are being threatened to lose their right to operate as vacation rentals, which has the timing is crazy, right? Because the market has already been kind of in a decline. I think nationwide, most markets at least are seeing at least a slight decline in pricing, and that specifically that has been exacerbated on Maui in condos especially because of the fear that it's creating, and a lot of condominiums have lost up to 50% of their market value. um, so again, we're just the same thing as we're just really conservative. We just finished a flip where the condo had been worth 830,000 2 years ago, and we bought it for 415. So we actually paid exactly 50% of what the seller had an offer for 830 2 years ago that she didn't take. And we bought it for 415. The lowest comp on the market was about 600,000. So we said, okay, and this was a good unit, corner unit next to the pool, great location. Didn't really need much rehab. I think we put 20,000 into it just to make sure it was like the most attractive unit on the market. And we ended up, so we're 435 all in, and I projected that we would sell it for 550. Because I was like, the lowest sale 600, market's going down, will be the best unit on the market. If everything goes wrong, like I don't see a way that we get less than 550. Well, we ended up selling it for 590, so we did make money. It worked out, and again, that conservative kind of just real careful approach has been working out for us pretty well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Sounds like that strategy is what you need to continue to do.
Yeah, and we are potentially missing a lot of deals by being so conservative. But like I said before, I mean, we'd rather miss a good deal than do a bad deal. And I'd rather see somebody else succeed and make some money on a deal that we missed than be over eager and over, like greedy and have to get every deal that comes over my desk and then end up losing a ton of money and, wiping out a year or two worth of profits, or potentially even putting us out of business if it went really bad. So, yeah, there's a little bit of, I think, humility that I need to practice in that, and accepting that, like, I don't have to do every deal that, comes up on Maui. I just have to do the best deals that come across my desk.
Absolutely. And what is your strategy for finding the deals?
I'd say, we don't have any particularly unique strategies. It's kind of the same as most investors and everybody we listen to, but it's pretty equal, I would say, amongst direct mail, um, online marketing, foreclosure auctions, and some cold calling. And there's not one strategy, I think, that produces the deals. So we make sure we're covering all of them, and we pursue whatever deals whatever method they come through. We do, if I see more deals coming through direct mail, then I start to focus a little more on those. Right now, I'm starting to see, it maybe hasn't fully happened yet, but I fully expect that we're going to see more foreclosures. And so I'm paying a lot more attention to those just because, again, what I talked about in the Maui market, especially, but also in the market just nationwide, again, like with prices kind of on the decline, interest rates too high for people to refinance. I think there's a lot of potential for an increase in foreclosures. Um, so it does ebb and flow between the different lead sources, but we cover them all, and we focus more on one if there's a particular need, or the market indicates that that's the strong one at the moment.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, of course. I know when we chatted before, you were mentioning that you really are centered towards the off-market buys. Can you expand what that looks like?
Yeah. So actually, I've only ever bought one property that was on market. It was the second condo that I ever bought. But besides that, I've never bought anything from the MLS. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I have plenty of friends who make a great, grow investing businesses by only buying on the MLS. But for just the way that my business has developed um, has just organically grown through buying off market. And so my phone is where the deals come from. They call me most of the time. Again, except cold calls. I do some outbound calls myself. Um, but yeah, so sellers call me all the time. I have conversations going on with them where I feel them out, figure out like, okay, what's your motivation? What kind of price are you looking for? And right off the bat, the first thing is I want to know how much are you hoping to get for the property? And then once they tell me that, and it's usually market value, right? And they usually want to close quickly for all cash as is, and they need repairs and all this stuff, but they still want the same amount as the perfectly good condition comp that just sold on MLS. So I kind of give them a quick explanation, like, look, here's the deal. When you're selling to an off-market, all cash investor, we're bringing a lot of value. I explain the difference, and I let them know, like, if we couldn't get anywhere near. So again, right now I'm working on a deal on the Big Island of Hawaii where the seller said she wants 550, and I'm like, okay, well, after we put 100,000 into it, it's gonna be worth 600. So obviously we can't pay 550. So I explain all that to her, let her know. I often will just let them know up front, like, hey, I don't want to make an offensive offer, but I mean, we would be somewhere like in the like our offer would start with a 3, or we would be somewhere in the 300s or high 300s, something like that. I just give them kind of a ballpark idea. Like, look, so I'm setting that low anchor. And then I'm letting them know, like, I don't want to offend you, so I'm not going to actually like make a hard offer. I think in this case, if you want 550, by all means, the best thing for you to do is call a realtor and list it on the MLS. It's going to take, it might take 6 months. You're going to pay commissions. You're going to make repairs. I'm going to list all the kind of downsides of listing with a realtor, but I'm going to tell them, like, hey, you may not get 550, but you'll get a lot more than what I'm going to offer. And what I've found is that approach has actually been really productive for me. I think, in the right case for a lot of people, they say, okay, I'm going to call a realtor. But for the people that are actually motivated sellers, the right people that I want to reach, they come back. Like the condo I just spoke about that I bought for 415. I told her that exact thing. I said, you should call a realtor. You'll probably get 550. my offer would be low 400s. And she came back to me. She was like, well, I really want to sell to you. Like, can you actually like give me a firm offer? And so that turned the tables from like me trying to sell her, to her trying to sell me and saying like, well wait a minute, will you make me an offer? Cause again, the, the response was like, I'm not even going to make you an offer because it's going to be offensive. You should call a realtor. I would be like low 400s. And then, you know, that kind of triggers her to come back and say, well, what is the offer? I mean, I'm really interested in working with you. And so anyways, that approach has been working for me.
Yeah, that's such a cool strategy. I haven't heard many people talk about that. So I love that you're, yeah, having something that works for you. Awesome. So, what are some of the goals that you have for where your business is heading?
I think right now, so I just went through a divorce, and basically that, after having been, I was married for the majority of the time I grew my business, and all the rentals I bought in my name. Um, so I did lose a significant portion of my net worth and what I've built due to the divorce. And so quick note on that is like, I strongly recommend having a very clear prenuptial, or if you're already married, postnuptial agreement. I think, I think everybody thinks of a prenup as something that says if you get divorced, the other person doesn't get anything, but it doesn't have to be that, it can be just, I think of the way I think of a prenup or a postnup is just like spelling out what would happen. So you might spell out that the partner, husband or wife, is going to get half of the other partner's net worth in a divorce, which would be the same as what a lot of state laws are. But you could also say like, okay, in my case, I probably would have said like, how about if I give you 25% of what I've built? So it's not that I don't want to take care of my ex-wife. It's that like I didn't want to give her half of everything that I built. So yeah, I would say, going forward, my focus right now is going to be, first off, is paying down debt, because the divorce, I'm, having to pay off a few mortgages, to give her I'm giving her 4 condos free and clear. So I have to pay off all those mortgages, and I have to give her some cash too. So I'm going to have some debt that I have to pay off, as well as debt just from buying other rentals. So while the market's in this weird funk that it's in, my focus is to do flips, pay off those debts, and put myself into a position where I can be ready to start acquiring more rentals once the market conditions improve, or once I feel like prices aren't going to drop in a significant way. Or they're not going to drop significantly from where they're at now. Right now, I feel like they're going down. I think it's a good time to buy, but there could, they haven't stopped going down yet. So I'm kind of waiting for that to happen and to get my debt paid off, and then to acquire some more rentals to make up for what I lost in the divorce.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. You never know how different obstacles can affect you. So, yeah, it's important that now you have those takeaways and lessons to share with others.
Yeah, and hopefully that resonates with some. I don't know if any listeners are dealing with a divorce, or in an unstable marriage, or getting married, maybe, and are in the process of acquiring rentals and scaling. And I think it's really important to have those tough conversations and say like, okay, like, look, in the case that things don't go as planned, let's just spell out what we think would be fair and right for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. So, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more from you, where can people find you and reach you?
They can find my website is mauihomebuyers.com, or they can reach me directly. My Instagram is at Maui Homebuyers. or my personal Instagram is at investor.greg.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations with operators just like Greg who are building real businesses. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.